Well, happy Friday. You all ready for the weekend? I am. I'm ready to go to the home show today. Yes, there's so much happening this weekend. Let's talk all about it. In fact, let us know where you're heading out. Maybe it'll give somebody else an idea where they can go this weekend. Will we have nice weather for that? We'll find out here in just a second. We'll talk with Beckett Moore. I'm your host. If you're new to the show, good morning and welcome aboard the Real Monica Adams Show. 3 years in now. Yes, over 770 shows, and all because of each and every one of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for waking up early in the morning. You're all ready to go. It's appointment viewing for you now. And the thing that you can do to make this continue to grow and grow and grow is share the show and tell everybody to like and follow the pages, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, we have X, we have Rumble, we have Instagram. And is there a platform we're not on that you would like for us to be on? Let us know that as well. All right, we're heading into the weekend. We're going to give you some news you can use. We'll run into some sports news. The Billikens wrapping up the regular season. It was really exciting the other night to see the Billikens win and go undefeated at the Chaffetz. It was really awesome. We'll talk about the Blues and St. Louis City SC, and then we get into our Friendship Friday talk. Yes, I know you love her. She is our incredible real estate extraordinaire, Dot Fleshman, a conversation that's going to mix smart home buying advice with life around St. Louis and all of us getting ready for St. Patrick's Day celebrations. We'll discuss all of that here in the next hour. It's going to be a busy one, so let's get going.
Good morning from St. Louis, Missouri.
Our segment is called What the Weather, and I was just talking to our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore, and I said, what kind of background would you like? What do you think you need? Beckett said storms. Wah, wah, wah. Good morning, Beckett.
Yeah, good morning. Thankfully, though, those storms, they're coming through early tomorrow morning, and by later in the day, it'll be much nicer out.
Okay, good. Well, I walked up here into the office this morning, and I'm like, is it just me, or is it brighter earlier?
Yeah, we've definitely gained a lot of sunshine in the month of February, and we'll gain a lot more in the month of March for sure.
Yeah, crazy. And it's nice to not, well, I think maybe in some areas you may have had some fog when you woke up this morning, but it's nice not to see what we've seen for the last few days, barely being able to see outside. So that's the good news. Well, before we get into the weather, you have anything big planned for the weekend?
No, not this weekend, but coming up, not this next week, but the next week is spring break. So in a week from now, I'll be on a plane to Charleston, South Carolina for spring break. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, you're killing me. That is one of my favorite places. We've talked about wanting to move there. Have you been to Charleston?
No, this will be my first time.
Can you take me? Okay, I cannot wait for you to come back and tell me what you love the most. We went there for our 5th anniversary, and boy, Charleston has my heart. It is just amazing. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I'm giddy for you. All right, so yes, spring break is right around the corner, and this weekend, springing forward, so we're going to lose an hour of sleep. We're going to break it all down. Let us know what it looks like, Beckett.
Yeah, so looking at this bus stop forecast this morning, 59 degrees, mostly sunny out there. Cloud cover will increase throughout the day as we do get those storms and rain to start heading across the area into Missouri. 78 degrees, mostly cloudy skies for our high. Now, we do have a slight risk, level 2 out of 5 for storms in St. Louis, so it's a pretty low marginal threat in the St. Louis area. But as you head out to our west towards Kansas City, St. Joseph, that's where we do have a 3 out of 5. That's where we could have some stronger hail and maybe a couple tornadoes as well. So the severe risk timeline, this is going to be, again, mostly an early morning thing on Saturday. By around midnight, that's when we could see some precipitation moving into the area. But the main time frame is 4 to 6 a.m. as we head into tomorrow morning. And the threats we're looking at pretty much all low except damaging winds, because if these storms do gain their strength as they head towards the St. Louis area, we could see some straight line damaging winds across the area. But right now they are expected to weaken as they head into St. Louis. So overall, some high winds are possible. Tornadoes aren't likely, and neither is hail or flooding. Now, finally, our 7-day forecast, 62 degrees as our low tonight, heading into tomorrow, 68. Again, we do have that chance of storms and showers in the morning. 67 degrees for your Sunday, sunshine in the area. By Monday, 78 degrees. Really going to want to enjoy that warm up, because by Tuesday and Wednesday, we do get some rain to come through. And by Thursday, 57 degrees as we are headed towards possibly another cold spell.
Okay, cold spell, but any possibility of any snow for the rest of, yeah, you're shaking your head.
No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
not seeing
okay.
anything. No, no. I'm not
Okay,
seeing any
no.
except snowstorms,
Okay,
no.
we're pretty much out of it, do you think?
I mean, I can't rule it out, but looking at it, I don't think we're gonna see anything.
He's like, "Monica, do not put me into that because that will damage my credibility." All right, fine. Well, this is I'm liking this except for tomorrow, but let's get past that, and then we'll head into the weekend and get into Monday when we'll talk with Beckett again. All right, my friend. Well, not too bad of a forecast. I like when I see the sunshine in there. What will you? Let's see. So a lot of people say this. They don't like when we spring forward because they get mad that we lose that hour of sleep. And Dot and I are going to talk about this in just a second about springing forward. Are you mad that we're losing the hour of sleep, and would you like it to go away where they have discussed in the past that that was possible?
I don't know. I mean, I think we could just keep it as, standard time. We don't need to get more sunshine, but I don't know. To
Uh,
be honest, I don't know.
Let's let all of you weigh in. We love to be interactive with our audience. So Beckett and I and Dot will all be watching what your responses are. I want them to leave it alone. Just stop the back and forth and back and forth. It just confuses us all. It feels like we're constantly in jet lag.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Well, have a great day at school, and then we'll see you on Monday.
All right, see you then.
All right, folks, that is aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. Be sure to follow him at Moore Weather Official. And we love to talk about sponsorships in different aspects of segments. If you would like to be the sponsor of the What the Weather segment, reach out to me. We have 4 new sponsors coming on. I cannot wait to tell you all about these. If you would like to add your branding with our branding, shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. All right, we're going to get into some news you can use. Before we do that, I want you all to be heard and seen. So let's go to the comment section. Let's see who was jumping on first. It's probably Christy. Yep, Christy is always there, just waiting to type in really fast. Thank God it's Friday, she says. Good morning and happy Dot Day. That is why when I talk about how good we do branding, that's it right there, folks. If I was doing trivia and I had a big group on some of our mobile Monicas and I say, okay, tell me who does Friendship Friday? Immediately, you all would say Dot Fleshman. I hope immediately you say she's with Coldwell Banker Gundicker. I hope immediately you would know her phone number, her email, her website. So listen to all of that because we'll be giving that all to you. And then that means Dot goes, wonderful. When it's time for them to buy, sell homes, they know it's Dot Fleshman. Got it? Dot Fleshman. Say it 10 times and it's drilled into your head. Kathleen Morris, I promise you, you will get your book this weekend. Happy Friday to you. Sean, good morning to you. Good morning, Tony. Luann, good morning. Good Friday morning. Snow possible in Minnesota. Stephanie, leave it in Minnesota. I hate losing the hour of sleep, Christy says, and it messes up my pup's schedule. Yeah, right. Good morning, Karen Rose. My plans today, going to my miracle. Wait, I need my glasses for this one. Going to my miracle maker today, my hairstylist. She's magic. I love it. Matt, good morning to you. And Cindy, good morning. You're heading off to work. Okay, but once you're done with work, what will you be doing into this weekend? Feel free to drop all that in. All right, I used to do traffic, for a big portion of my career, and I'm going back to it this morning. There is a bill to raise the highway speed limit in Missouri, and it's advancing. What do you think about that? The Missouri State Senate has passed a bill that will raise the speed limit across the state. It would increase the speed of the maximum to up to 75 miles per hour instead of 70. Two neighboring states, Kansas and Nebraska, they already have a 75 mile per hour speed limit. The proposal now moves on to the state house. Okay, folks, you know that song by Sammy Hagar, I Can't Drive 55? They're going to have to change that to 75. What do you think about that? 75 miles per hour for the maximum speed? I mean, I know a lot of you probably do that and above that, but do you think that's good news? Weigh in on that one. MoDOT next week, we'll be closing some lanes for those drivers on northbound 270 near I-64. Now, listen up. It is overnight Tuesday. At least one lane will remain open during construction. And by the way, if you've driven through there, it's been a mess. It is just like turn, and you're trying to stay in your lane. I don't know. I don't like it right now. It's a little scary. The first lane will close at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, second by 10 p.m. Those lanes, though, will reopen by 5 a.m. Wednesday. So that's the good news. It's happening in the overnight hours. But for some of you, you could still get stuck in that first lane closure at 8 o'clock. By the way, Conway, which runs underneath the interstate, will also be closed from 9 p.m. Tuesday to 5 a.m. Wednesday. The construction is part of a project aiming to replace the 270 bridge over Conway, and they're looking to widen the 270 bridge over Ladue. So a heads up to you. Again, you are forewarned. This is all happening for you next Tuesday into the early morning hours of Wednesday. All right. The U.S. Postal Service is expecting to run out of cash in a year without help from Congress. This is according to the postmaster. If it doesn't, the Postal Service might not be able to pay its employees or their vendors by February of next year, with potentially dire consequences for mail delivery, right? The U.S. Postal Service running out of cash within a year, unless Congress lifts a decades-old cap and allows the agency to borrow more money. The new postmaster is scheduled to testify before Congress later this month about the financial struggles and the need to change long-standing rules and regulations that they consider burdensome. He singled out the $15 billion cap on borrowing that's been in place since 1990. So I'll be following this interesting story, and anything new on it, we'll of course pass it along. All right, let's get into some health news. So, when Kennedy took over, that he had in the greatest vision of his life that we get our health in order. Well, now he's targeting Starbucks and Dunkin' over some of their sugary beverages, okay? And they say they will have to prove their safety. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. going after the two for their sugary drinks, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, saying that the popular coffee chains will have to prove their drinks are safe. He made those comments at the Austin Eat Real food rally last week, and the quote was, "We're going to ask Dunkin' and Starbucks, show us the safety data that shows that it's okay for a teenage girl to drink an iced coffee," are you ready for this, "with 115 grams of sugar in it." That's ridiculous. I don't think they're going to be able to do it, Kennedy said. It's unclear whether the ramifications might be for the coffee chains if they cannot prove that their drinks are safe. He's been scrutinizing food and beverage ingredients as part of his Make America Healthy Again movement. All right, folks. I do not go to either one of those places. As you know, I don't drink coffee. Do you drink those? I go back and think about Sandra Bullock and the caramel macchiato and all that stuff. Do you drink those? Do you understand that it has that much sugar in it? That just blows me away. That's like days worth of sugar. And then the other aspect is the amount of sodium that's in things. People talk about, I don't salt anything. No, it's already in it. You don't have to. No longer do you feel like you need the table salt because there's so much in the food that's hidden already. So you got to watch it. That's the whole big thing of reading labels. All right, folks, listen to this one. Baby sleepers sold at Walmart and Target are being recalled for a choking risk. So any of you that have or know that people that have young children, Halo Dream, they're recalling 45,000 of their Magic sleep suits. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said the zipper heads on the sleepers can detach, and that poses a choking risk to infants. No injuries have been reported so far, but there have been 15 reports of this happening. Halo, Amazon, Walmart, Target, they all sold them online between September of last year and February of this year. If you have a recalled sleeper, you should stop using it immediately and visit sleepsuitrecall.com to participate in that. After registering, you will receive a coupon code for a replacement sleeper or a $50 store credit to purchase another item. You don't have to do like we do with some recalls where you're just like, oh, okay, I'll just toss this thing. No, you will get your money back or you'll get something else that you can purchase. So right now you can go ahead and look in the comment section. I just dropped in what you need to know for that. Okay. Do you have, well, I should say this because we've been talking a lot about the caregiver role. Are you a caregiver right now? And did it just recently happen? For me, it has. Me and my brother, we've been taking care of my mom. And I'm seeing a lot of the things in these health news stories that are popping up on my feed. And one of them is this: why some seniors avoid bathing and what caregivers can do about it. And this is absolutely true. I will talk to my mom and say, okay, we got to take a shower. We took a shower a couple of days ago. It's time to take a shower. Ugh. It's the whole aspect of when they're injured and the fact that they have to go through the whole process and it kind of hurts and it's aching, but it's also, and this is the fear, when you transition your mother, your father, your grandparents, whoever, back into their own home, that will they fall, right? So the falls are the leading cause of injury for adults 65 and older. And every year, 1 in 4 older adults report falling. Why the seniors avoid bathing? Multiple factors that keep them. It's a legitimate fear because there's a lot of consequences that happen after you fall. As they're getting older, they don't have the muscle strength, they don't have the balance, the equilibrium is off. And if you break a bone, especially a hip fracture, it's a high mortality after that. That's the scariest thing of all. And so many people that have reached out that have said, I'm so glad I continue to see that Mama Jackie's doing better. Well, yeah, but she's surrounded by us, right? It's the whole transitioning aspect. Beyond the fear of falling, seniors might skip showers because they feel they haven't been active enough to need one, or because a diminished sense of smell means they don't notice their body odor. Bathing can also feel like too much work, and cold bathroom environments add to the reluctance. The dignity, the privacy concerns, there's so much that falls into it. Have you all felt that? There's some of that that's creeping in that I hear from mom, but I'm like, oh, let's go. But see, it's when there's someone in the home that's saying it. So you really got to keep checking on them, or you got to go over to the house and say, come on, let's do this. So yeah, I feel you if you are in that same situation. Okay. In sports news, St. Louis Blues are in action, coming off of a win, by the way. They're on the road in San Jose. It's another late game, as I had mentioned. They're playing against the San Jose Sharks. Face off will be at 9 p.m. By the way, as a follow-up story to the one we did yesterday, we were talking about the possibility of Colton Parayko being traded from the Blues to Buffalo. He stopped that and said, nope, it's not happening. He had that clause in his contract. So at least for now, he is still with the Blues. Okay. We're going to talk about the Billikens. Excited about this. I was at the game on, on Wednesday. Had never been to a game before. So I'll ask you, have you all been to a Billikens game? If you have, then you know this excitement. This is what we expect. Yep, you heard it. They won 79-65. They were undefeated at Chaffetz. They wrapped up the regular season at home as the champions. They go into the postseason now. They do have their final game on the road, and that'll be tomorrow at 3 p.m. tip-off against George Mason. St. Louis City SC, they're in action tomorrow against the Seattle Sounders, and they're in town, by the way, 7:30 p.m. National Day of Calendar. It's National Spray Tanning Day. Oh, cool. That just reminded me that I paid for an entire month last month, and probably even January, that I didn't use. All right, let's go get spray tans. National Dress in Blue Day. Oh, come on. That should be every day, right? Dress in Monica Blue. National Speech and Debate Education Day. Oh, National Dress Day, just in general, wear a dress. My husband will be happy about this one. It's National Oreo Cookie Day, Day of the Dude, okay, and National Employee Appreciation Day. So many things going on this Friday, March, what is today? March 6th. We're ripping through the 2026 already. It's crazy. We are going to take our break, and when we come back, we're going to get into our Friendship Friday talk, and we've got some real estate talk today. So get ready. If you have never seen my friend Dot Fleshman, we're going to talk about mortgage rates. We're going to think about you buying a home and what should you be checking during a home showing, right? And then we're going to flip to Friendship Friday as we discuss everything that's going on about daylight saving time, St. Patrick's Day celebrations. So we're talking downtown and Dogtown. So much to discuss on this Friday. You ready for it? I am. So don't go anywhere.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the in spa.
And I want to welcome some of our newest sponsors. One of them, Bridget Childress, legal nurse consultant. Did you see her on with us earlier this week? Welcome aboard, Bridget. ChildressLNC.com. And that gives us the opportunity to welcome every one of our sponsors. We couldn't do it without your love and without each and every one of you watching as well. So welcome back to the show. We have gone through your news you can use and your weather. Now we're going to get into our real estate talk and our Friendship Friday talk. So I'm so frustrated. I had this really cool background for me and Dot, and it just went away. What the heck? I had a St. Patrick's Day one. Fine, we'll pick some sun, maybe. We'll pick a little sunshine for her because she is my sunshine. Good morning, Dot Fleshman. How are you?
Good morning. I love that sunshine. I love everything about it.
Evidently, it didn't want us to have St. Patrick's. Maybe I'll get it a little bit later. How have you been?
I've been great. We had our company gala last night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So my throat's a little scratchy.
With a lack of sleep?
Lack of sleep. No, more probably like screaming. It was so loud.
And laughter, which is a
And
good
laughing.
thing.
Right.
Why does it feel like I haven't seen you for months?
Gosh, I know. And I can't wait to get my book.
I know. So you'll get that on, what did we say? Next week.
Next week.
Yes. So by the way, if you all don't know about it, we're talking about, it's a book called It's About Time. It's about time you and I see each other. It's about time. So there are 35 women from our area that really just let go and got raw and real. And they're very inspirational, pivotal moments in our lives. And I'm proud to be a part of it. So a lot of you were saying you wanted the book. If you haven't gotten yours yet, and I have a ton here, by the way, I'll be bringing them also to a lot of our mobile Monicas. Be sure to reach out to me because I can ship them to you if you and I cannot get together, but I will hand deliver yours. Dot. Yours is coming next week. All right. So we have a lot to talk about with regards to real estate first and foremost. And as I mentioned, if you do not know my dear friend Dot Fleshman, first of all, you're missing out because she's incredible. She's on with us once a month on our Fridays, usually the first Friday of the month. And I want to make sure you have all the information. As I said earlier, you should be able to fire this off now. Dot.Fleshman at cbrealty.com. That's her email address. Her phone number is 314-324-3317. And then the website, dotfleshman.com. She is with Coldwell Banker Realty with Gundaker. So the housing market, as we've been talking about, going into 2026, I'll just always ask that question to start. Is it up? Is it down? Is it kind of status quo?
It's up. I mean, we're still in the position of lack of inventory. Mm-hmm. So because of the lack of inventory, we still are looking at homes where we're fighting for them. So, we're in multiple offer situations all the time still. There are going to be some homes that are out there that might be sitting on the market for whatever reason. The home just hasn't found its perfect match. That's all. Mm-hmm. We want to look at pricing our homes correctly as well. But I can tell you most of the homes that I have gone under recently, we were in multiple offer situations where we still had to provide a little bit more than what they were asking at the time. When there's competition, that those are the things that we have to look at. Sure. But it's not just about the money. A lot of times it's also about the terms. Right. One of my clients went out over the terms more importantly than the money, but so it all matters. It all goes hand in hand, but it's busy.
So you're talking about having to offer over the amount. That's been the case for a long time. How many years has that been where we've seen it? Well, it used to be astronomical. People were offering $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 over, which just blew my mind.
Right. That was in 21. So anything after 20, during COVID, after COVID, people were like crazy. I mean, it was a lot, but I mean, we're talking, this is 6 years later and almost 6 years. Yeah. 6 years later. And we're paying 30,000 over.
Wow. Still.
Yeah.
Do you see that ending? Go ahead.
But you're looking at the value of the house and you're looking at, if you feel that it's worth that value, then it's not like you're paying over.
Right.
And we'll talk about that too here in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But part of that is, you buy your house. No one plans to buy their house and live there a year. They plan to live there for a certain period of time. And when you're in your house 5 years or so, and you're paying that, you'll eventually get that recouped when you go to
Yeah.
sell. Because
That's
price.
what I was just going to say. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I didn't know if we were coming down from that, but you're still hearing that. So here's the deal: when you are looking for a house, first of all, as Dot and I have been stressing and stressing for over a year now, you better have everything in order, because if everybody is coming to the table and they're ready to go that far over, you're going to lose out. And if that's your dream home, you're going to lose out because you don't have all your ducks in order, right?
That's correct. And I had this lovely couple. We just went under contract, but showing them houses, and just for example, just say between the 300 and 400 range. So we're showing them a house for 325 that's fully renovated, gorgeous, and then showing them a house for 319,000, and it doesn't have a finished. It kind of doesn't have a finished lower level, and the upstairs is not really finished. I mean, still has outdated, um, like the bathroom was outdated, the flooring was outdated, et cetera. So when you're pricing these houses and you're looking at 325 and this one's 319, you're saying to yourself, I'm willing to pay, 335, 340, whatever for this house because it's already finished. It's move-in ready. So I'm either going to pay it in my mortgage or I'm going to buy the 319 house and put money into it later.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either going to do the work here or here. So for some people, they're like, yeah, I'll do the work because I can do it cheaper. And so I'll get this house. So it works for this family. And for these people, this works for this family. So this one might not go over asking. They might be getting what they're asking for their house or whatever. But you could see what I'm saying. The 325, it's moving ready. That's what people are fighting for. And interestingly enough, Monica, this generation, I don't want to say this generation, we're looking at lots of people who are looking for houses. But the younger generation, they just like move-in ready,
Well, and also tell me if you agree with my husband Jim's comment. Everywhere we drive around, he's like, look, more condos, more apartments, more villas. He said, I'm telling you right now, this younger generation, they don't want a house. They don't want to maintain property. Do you agree with that?
I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. I'll tell you why. The thing is when we were buying houses back in the days, we could afford those houses. The pricing of houses have gone up so much that they have to save more money, which takes more years for them to save. So they've got to go somewhere. So yes, condos are becoming a thing where, maybe they can move into that, but rental is where they're going. So they're still spending money, but they're either renting. So they're paying someone else's mortgage, not their own.
So
But
they're renting, not buying those.
well, correct. I mean,
Some.
some people are going to going into condos as their first home. But for those who can't actually even purchase a home, what we're looking at two things. Do you have enough money saved as a down payment? I mean, you got to have a pretty hefty down payment.
Sure.
And then on top of that, is your credit okay? And so when you're living at home or when you're living somewhere and you're buying and you're spending your money, you're not really kind of worried about that. So as younger people start thinking about it, they really need to start thinking about, wow, I'm going to need 30, 40, 50,000 to put down on the house. Maybe I don't need that Starbucks coffee with 250 calories.
Did you realize it had that much in it?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God, it's so ridiculous. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I see some people saying, I like my regular coffee. Way to go, RFK. I will never drink those. I think a lot of it was just awareness. Rose said, I used to do Starbucks, but since I stopped, I purchased some property from the money I saved. I see
There
all
you
your
go.
comments, by the way. Yeah, I see them. So yeah, somebody said, what do you think? 75 miles per hour. Somebody said that's too fast. That's crazy to me.
For locally it is, but when you're going out, like
Yes, rural.
further out, I mean, like if you're driving from here to like Mizzou or something, like I could understand that, it's 70 now. So go to 75, it's like 5 more.
Because
But
they already are.
right. Well, yes, we are. But I mean, not like here locally,
Yeah.
not like
No.
270 and 44. I mean, that's too fast.
I think I'm going to have to let my husband weigh in on it, by the way. Everybody, I see you. A happy Friday, basketball tournament time. Love this time of year. I see it. I see it. I see it. Let's see. Talking about the caregiving aspect. Absolutely. Linda said good morning to you. Stephanie said good morning. Athena, hi. Dot and Monica, happy Friday to you as well. If you are just tuning in, it is a Friendship Friday. You are seeing my friend Dot Fleshman with Coldwell Banker Gundaker. And again, we're talking about the housing market. So let's talk about you individually and your wonderful clients. I understand a couple of under contracts for sure, and then
Correct.
one that actually closed. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yay.
Yes, this one is under contract. Again, first time home buyer. And we look at so many different houses, and I always tell my clients as we're looking, don't worry about how many houses we're looking at. You'll know when it's yours. And she walked in and she's like, this is it. She immediately felt it. She loved it. Her mom happened to be with her on that day. She felt it. It was perfect. And you'll know when you walk into houses, even
Oh,
though
yeah.
I walk into certain houses and think, oh, I love this. She liked really more character, and that's what this house had.
Yep. Okay. So about this one.
So this one is from my client that I was telling you about. That he didn't have the highest bid, but his terms were perfect, and he is going to renovate this home and sell it. This is in the
Oh,
Baldwin area. He does an amazing job. Like they do so great. I can't wait to see what this house looks like. It'll be beautiful.
Again, if you've got that kind of talent, there's so much of a market for that. In fact, in our subdivision, there was a fire in a home, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen with that." And then I started to see a bunch of activity in front of it, and then I just saw that there was a sign that went up that said "just listed." Now there's 2 houses in our subdivision that are up for sale. I was like, "Uh oh, we're all going to be heading out very soon." It's probably not far off for us either. Okay, so those 2, and then the final one. Is this the one that closed?
This one is oh no, the one that I just told you about just closed.
That was okay. This is under contract.
This one is under contract. We're closing on this one next week on Friday the 13th. Yee. I
Congrats.
tried to move it to a Thursday, but
Nothing spooky about that.
no, we're going to go under contract on that day. It'll be great.
Congrats.
And again, another first time home buyer moving into that house.
I love it. It's that dream. I mean, we can all go back and think. In fact, my brother was just asking my mom about when they moved into their very first house in Florissant back in the 60s. And he was like, "Do you remember the month? Do you remember the year?" And originally she was like, "What? No." And, he was filling out some forms that he needed to know. And then finally you start to ask questions a different way. And all of the ideas and the vision and the dream for that first house started coming back. And it was fun to listen to her. So yeah, I remember my first house in Afton and how scary and exciting it was at the same time, because it's your first really big purchase.
Right. That's correct. That's
Yep.
correct.
So you need someone like Dot to guide you to say, calm down. This is a good thing.
Yeah. There's good stress and bad stress.
Yeah.
And good stress is you have, packing to do and moving to do, but it's like the end result is amazing.
Oh, I'll tell you what, and I agree with Jim on this. You get to a point where you're like, I'm not moving. Let somebody else do that. There's a reason why we all have our wheelhouse jobs. Let the movers do it. Just get them boxed up and let them do it. Just save your back, okay? Okay, so those are the closed and under contracts. Whereas we're discussing our real estate talk, let's talk about rates. So I know in the past we were discussing, which I'm glad didn't happen. Was it a 50-year that they were discussing?
There was talks about it, but it didn't go anywhere.
Good. So how are the 15 and the 30 years?
I mean, most people get 30-year loans,
Okay.
And I think once you get to a point where if you're refinancing and you're like, the payment's not so bad, let's just do a 15. So people do that as well. But I mean, you have options. I mean, depending on like how much you make and how quickly you want to do it, you got less interest going in if you do a 15, of course.
Right.
But the rates are great. So you can get under 6% right now.
Wow.
And I mean, I've got a client who's like at 5.6, and
Okay.
that's great. And it all depends on everything. Your debt to equity ratio. Do you have too much debt? The key of thumb is not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? So that depends on your debt to equity. So when people start getting, you got your school loan, you got your car loan, you got credit card debt, you got, so much other debt. Those are the things they look at, and making sure that your credit score is good. So those are all the things that you're going to look for. And I've got people that I'm working with, and they're not quite ready now, but because they're getting that information, they're able to work with their lender to decide which of these items that they want to pay off, because you don't need to pay all of them off, and you never want to close, a credit card especially when you're getting ready to buy a house. And these are all the things that your lender is going to talk with you about. So I think the most important thing is, if you're going to move, like if you're thinking about it, start now. Even if you don't move till next year or the year after, if you think about it, let's kind of get in and see, what would you be approved for? Give yourself an idea. I told you I had clients that were looking for homes in the 300 and they qualified for the 600.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So
didn't.
by the way, as you're tuning in, and if you're just tuning in, again, Dot Fleshman is our guest. We're talking real estate right now. If you have any questions for her, please don't wait. Don't just sit there. If there's something that you need to know about, and it might be something somebody else needs to know, drop a comment in right now. If you're rushing off to work and you have a comment for her, again, you can email her at any time, dot.fleshman@cbrealty.com, or you watch this on replay. Just do a little hashtag replay. I'll make sure that Dot sees it. So again, right now, mortgage rate update, rates dipping below 6%. We're talking about the significance of that for buyers. Let me ask this, Dot, what does it mean for people who purchased in the last few years?
So we're talking about refinancing. So if you are one of those clients who got into that 7 rate, and again, people, it's not a perfect storm, right? Sometimes people have to move because they have to move.
Right.
There's either a divorce, or they're moving out of town, or they're moving in town, or, whatever. So they move during a period of time where there's like a 7% rate. If you can get down into the 5 point something rate, they're definitely looking at refinancing, depending on those points. So right now, there's about, like, not how many houses are out there, but like of all the applications that go into the mortgage company, about 50 of them are like refinance. And then the other 50 are, for loans. But part of it is that's a good thing. But also going back to, remember in 19, 20, 21, when rates were, you can get rates in the 2s, 3s, when you were in that range. If you look at how much time you've put into, the last 6, 7 years, how much equity you've put into your house, if you could, and the price of homes have gone up.
Right.
So with all that together, if you can find a home and get a rate in the 5%, that's worth selling your home. Because, the challenge was, a lot of people were saying, I got a 3% rate. I don't want to move.
That's my mindset. We've got an incredible rate because that's years ago, right? We've been in this house since 2016. So you figure out what the rates were back then. Then they started really going up, and I'm like, I don't want to move yet. Now they're coming back down. It's right. It's the year we're in. It's the decade we're in. It's always going to be evolving and changing. So you have to get with the people, lenders, real estate agents that will guide you in that. Because yes, that I will say, I'm right there in that boat of, okay, let's try to let it come down again. That's right. That's in your mindset. So we're talking about who should be thinking about refinancing right now. If you have questions about that, feel free to drop them in. We also are going to talk, as we go to our break, about, this is an interesting one. And we got a picture that we're going to show you. What to look for at a home showing. This is very important. And these are things that, when you have the right real estate agent like Dot, they will say, oh, wait, let's not dismiss these things. Or, okay, well, you might think this is a big deal. This is kind of minor. We can get this taken care of. All of that we're going to discuss as we continue our real estate talk and our Friendship Friday talk. And by the way, we would love to know your plans as we get ready to talk about St. Patrick's Day. What are your plans? Downtown, Dogtown, you're going to do all that? We'll discuss that for you coming up in just a second. First, let me tell you about Divine Longevity and Wellness. They are going to have us do a business spotlight coming up. In fact, we'll introduce you in 10 days to Dr. John Arshadi with Divine Longevity and Wellness. They are bringing hyper-personalization to the St. Louis area. So many cool things in their Four Seasons Shopping Center, Chesterfield, Missouri location. So when you walk in the door, there you go. This is what you're going to experience. They'll have a very warm and welcoming front. And then look at this bike. It is a bike with red light therapy. I know that's something that everybody loves, but you get exercise and you get the benefits of red light together. We also have so many people asking, where should I go for hormone replacement therapy when I want to do bioidentical hormones? Maybe I want to talk about GLP-1s and weight loss. I want to go for facials, esthetician work, right? And then I cannot wait to ask him about this. Sea Star. No, it's not a tanning bed. So what is it? Well, we're going to wait until Dr. Arshadi comes on. Monday the 16th is his in-studio show, and then we will be going and doing a walkthrough and a business spotlight with Divine Longevity and Wellness. 314-514-5364. Again, located in the Four Seasons Shopping Center in Chesterfield. Also in Chesterfield is the beautiful Angela Carter, who owns Mary Tuttle's. How many of you have been there? The Art of Living, beautiful flowers. Now, her mother, I can't wait to hear about how she started it. And then when she passed on, Angela decided to continue this. And I'm so glad she did, because if you haven't been, and I know a lot of you are like, oh, I can see, Monica, this is going to be a dangerous mobile Monica. It's going to be a fun one. So fresh flowers and then the most beautiful gifts. I mean this. If you've not been in the doors, here's a view for you. As you walk in, it's so warm and welcoming. We're talking about home decor. I'm talking about jewelry. I'm talking about things for someone that just got engaged, wedding gifts, kids gifts. You name it, stuff for the home. Some of the most beautiful jewelry. I'm a big fan of brackish. And then my mom, I told her that right there, maybe not that particular one, but I will be buying that so I feel incredible when I'm sleeping. We are talking about the most soft robes I've ever seen in my life. I think it's called Wrap It Up, maybe. And there's the jewelry. Okay. So yes, it goes on and on and on. One more time, it's Mary Tuttle's. And our Mobile Monica is coming up on March 25th at 9 a.m. Cannot wait to see all of you. A lot of you telling me that you're coming out that day. We have 2 Mobile Monicas that day, by the way. We will be there. And then we're excited to welcome aboard Exist Stretch. They have 2 locations, but we are going to be at the one on Hampton at 4 p.m. that day. And that's the day that we sit down with Babs. We get a chance to visit with her. Can't believe it'll be a year after Brian McKenna, the wonderful Brian McKenna, has passed. So we're going to follow up with her, see how she's been doing, and share some wonderful memories of one of the most incredible human beings. So 2 Mobile Monicas on the 25th. Mark it on your calendar right now. 9 a.m. in Chesterfield at Mary Tuttle's, 4 p.m. at Exist Stretch. It's going to be their grand opening celebration, so a lot of exciting things to come. Again, the 25th at 4 p.m. And welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. If you're just tuning in, our guest today is the wonderful Dot Fleshman, again with Coldwell Banker Gundaker. Her information is 314-324-3317. Remember that phone number when it is time to buy, to sell. You want to start saying, Dot, I just need, we're thinking of the idea. I want to start to get some things in order. She would tell you that's the important thing, to make sure that you're ready when you're ready, right? Fleshman at cbrealty.com. All right, so we're going to talk about a home showing and the items to be looking for before and during that home showing. What do you think the most important aspect would be, Dot?
Well, I wouldn't say there's one, but I mean, if you had to put it in order, you want to make sure that the structural part of the home, your foundation is strong and healthy.
Yep. So the thing is, though, when someone sees that, let's just go and we'll break this down back and forth. That top left one. Oh, wait a minute, Dot. There's cracks. I don't want this home, right? They're going to say that immediately. You would then have someone assess and say, oh, well, this might be kind of minor, or we can patch this and it's okay. I had that in my first house. It was in the basement. And then we had Wood's Basement Systems come over and they put a patch on it and then we painted and it was all good. Never had a problem with it again. But I think when some people see something like that, they immediately heard, oh, you don't want that home.
Well, I think you're correct, Monica. It depends on the crack. It depends on how many cracks, depends on, if they're vertical, or horizontal cracks, that makes a difference. Depends on how thick they are. That makes a difference. Depends on a lot of things. And so what happens is if you're a first time home buyer and all of a sudden, you're thinking, God, I'm going to put like 20,000 into it. It's probably not the best. If you're a renovator, that might not be a challenge for you, but it's also something that you can negotiate with the seller upon closing, before closing. Is that something that, they would take care of or they would handle or whatever, but it depends on the cracks. Okay. They're not all scary.
Exactly. And I want to stress that. So by the way, if you all have questions about any of these that we're showing you, or you're like, wait, yeah, I'm actually looking at a house right now and I see those things. So when you are the roof aspect, because you have to think about big expenses, and a roof many times is just that. So you're looking at the roof conditions.
The roof conditions, how old is the roof?
Mhm.
And right now, with everything going on with insurance companies, if you have a roof that's like 10, 12, 15 years, they may not insure you.
Mm.
They may, ask you. But when you do an inspection
Mhm.
and there is any damage to that roof at all, specifically hail damage, that's something that we can ask, again, the seller to get that roof replaced. They that's something that they can do either prior to closing, or we can work it out to where if we do close and they can't get it done in time, we can still do it.
Mhm.
But the roof with inspection, I mean, the roof with the insurance situation was kind of started becoming a big deal because
Yep.
insurance companies started raising the rates,
Mhm.
and with all this damage, and it started really with all these condo associations, they had to replace like all these roofs, um, because of hail damage and storms, and it
Right.
just started becoming an issue, and it just was like the trickle down theory.
Yep. Well, and again, I look back at when I went through the process, and again, I was in my 20s, so it was scary. My whole family was out of the country. I'm doing this solo, yeah, but I again at that point had such an incredible real estate agent that I could trust that guided me through this whole process. But it was scary because then we went through the inspection. I had to have two different inspections, and I'm like, what is happening here? It was like one with St. Louis County. There was another. I was like, why do I have to have so many inspections here? It felt like there was so much that was added on to. And again, when you're in your 20s and you're hearing extra money, and that's the stuff that's popping up. Then they were looking at the electrical panels. You got to figure out the age of the home, right? It's like, oh, for us, it was, I mean, that home, I think it was built in the 60s. They were like, oh, you got to replace that panel. So I had an old electrical panel, just like that picture right there on the, in the
Yep.
middle on the left. It's like,
Yep.
no, you got to replace this. It's not up to code.
So right now, if you have an older home and it's got knob and tube
Yep.
electric, you cannot get insured. So you will not be able to move into the house until that is replaced. So
Yep.
there's two things that's going to happen. Either the seller has to get that replaced before you close, maybe you make that agreement, and or you can buy the house still. I mean, if you guys negotiate on terms, you can still buy the house, but you can't move into it until that is replaced. So, and for some people, if they already have a house and they don't need to sell their home, that might not be a challenge. If you can negotiate those terms, you would move in to you would buy the house, have all that redone, and then you can move in.
Yep.
But you need insurance, and insurance will not cover knob and tube any longer because of fire hazards.
Yep. If you're just tuning in, I look at some of your comments. I'll get to those in just a second. Yes, these are the things to be looking for. And again, Dot would be guiding you saying, all right, we got to look at this. Okay, this is an issue, or this is this added expense. So looking at these, we talked about foundation cracks, old roof conditions, the plumbing, the electrical, another possible large added amount to that, the old electrical panel, sewer line issues. Okay, so let's talk about that for those that are buying a home, and not only sewer, but from a septic standpoint, we had pulled an offer that we had put down after the inspection because it came back and they were like, Monica, this septic is an issue. And if they didn't take care of that, it makes you wonder what else did they not take care of at the home. That was the guidance we had from our real estate agent at the time.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, that's why you have your 10 days, your due diligence to do whatever you want to do to see and check out and make sure that, are you ready to move into this house? So when I walk the property with my clients, the first thing I say to them after we've got done looking, it's how much money do you think you'll need to put into this home?
Mhm.
And again, that some of it, it's not all scary. I will tell
Right.
you that's something that you would have to negotiate though on the terms of your house at that point.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, sewer lateral issues, they can be, they're tricky, and you have to look out for a lot of things. Like for instance, in the city, well, a lot of municipalities have these sewer lateral programs where they will pay for the sewer lateral breakage that goes from your home to the street. But if it's something that's from your underneath your house, then that's going to be on you. And that could be like $20,000. I mean, depending
It
on what it
continues
is.
to add up, Dot. It's crazy. I mean, look, if you've got an old roof, one, you've got cracked foundations, you've got electrical panel issue, then there's I mean, it's like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And here you are thinking, well, no, I thought the house was going to be this price. Well, this is why you go at it with someone who, again, you can trust. The other things from an aesthetic standpoint, you're looking at it as, oh, well, that kitchen and bath, they're kind of old. I gotta update that. I mean, if you look at that picture that we just showed you, think if every single one of these things that you have to fix, it's also dealing with the commute distance, right? When you're buying a home, are you going to get frustrated with that and then turn around saying, all right, I'm going to buy something again? Basement storage, that's a big thing. You remember the story that when we bought this house, I thought my basement was going to be, we were going to turn it into a wine cellar. Yes, it was supposed to be my wine cellar, my dream wine cellar, and it ended up turning into a gym.
Right. Okay.
That's okay. It became a business thing.
Right.
All right. Let's go to comments for us real quick. Rose said, Dot, I think I told you this before, but we looked at a house for an hour and a half only to find out after we put an offer on it that it was already sold while we were looking at it. I still find myself looking at it online or even driving by. My friends tell me I need to get over it. There was very little backyard. Went downhill, but I love the house. My friends are driving me to it to get out and look at the horrible backyard, so I move on. My husband says he's sick of me whining about it. We have the best backyard on our block where we live, but I'm still disappointed. Do you ever have a client like me?
Yes, Rose. First of all, good morning, Rose. One day, Rose and I are going to go have coffee.
So Rose wants to know if you're coming to the Mobile Monica on March 25th at 9 a.m. in Chesterfield.
I'm not sure. I'm putting it down.
Yes, because she asked that the other day.
Maybe
she wants to see you at one of these.
That's a maybe. So the thing is with something like that is, honestly, Rose, it could be a blessing in disguise and you don't even know it. There might be good things about that home, but there's a reason that maybe that did not work out for you. However, I will tell you guys, I had a client who we put an offer in on a home. We didn't get it. It was a multiple offer situation. And when she called me, she says, "Oh, you guys were so close." And I was like, "Oh man, that stinks." So about 5-6 days go by and she calls me and she says, "The buyers are getting cold feet. They went out." And I was like, "We went in." So I called my clients and we were able to get in. And so now we're under contract with them. And sometimes these things happen, you just, maybe people get into the whole moment of, winning something and then they get in and, maybe they're thinking, oh, we've overextended ourselves, whatever. So they backed out, but there's always blessings in disguise why sometimes things don't work out. Absolutely. And I think I've shared with you before, I've had clients that we've done mutual releases before. They love the house, but now they're in an even better house.
Yeah.
So they're so glad that one was kind of like unanswered prayers.
I was just going to say that is the exact comment. Unanswered prayers. Yes. The house that we had put an offer down in Labadee, loved it. I could see all of us in it entertaining. But can you imagine now if we were out there, how far out we would have been? That would have been crazy. So we pulled that one. Then there was a house that we were literally in Cabo e-signing in the pool, trying to get this house that was infested, really far infested. It had the most beautiful kitchen I've ever seen in my life and this really pretty pool, but they wouldn't budge on the pricing. And I finally was like, oh, forget it. Then we found this house, right? So Rose, it is. I think it's a blessing in disguise, but you always go back and go, oh, remember that. But take pieces of it. Take pieces of it, right, that you loved and turn it into your own dream home. Yeah. See? So there you go. Okay. So once again, let me give you the information. As you see Dot on a regular basis, when it comes time, I want you to support those that support us. Dot's been on with us for a while now as your real estate extraordinaire. Again, Dot Fleshman at cbrealty.com. Phone number 314-324-3317, dotfleshman.com. So that's our real estate talk. We're going to take a break and we're going to get into our Friendship Friday talk. So before we do that, we're seeing the sunshine. We're looking forward to that, by the way. Are you excited about spring?
Oh my gosh, it's my favorite time of year. Daylight savings, my favorite.
Okay, we're going to have to find out why is daylight saving time Dot's favorite time of year. And to all of you, you know what? Do us a favor because we love to know our audience. Spring, summer, winter, fall. What is your favorite season? Let us know that. We'll have Friendship Friday talk when we return. But by the end of this, I want 100% raising your hands. I'm here to empower you because you all have intrinsic value. I don't care if someone has told you that you don't. Today, we are here to make you believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bonacorsi, and I'm the president and founder of J Bloom. And I chose Monica Adams to be our keynote speaker because of the positivity that she illuminates whenever she speaks. She's an amazing influence and has so much impact on these women that they are going to leave changed.
It's a constant education. Never stop being the leader. If you are given the opportunity to be, and I hate the word boss, by the way, don't we like leader more? Have you all seen that image of a boss shouting behind their team and then the leader out in the trenches? And I know there's a lot of people that are thrown into your paths, and there are people who try to squash your dreams. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your children, a boss that you've had, but you cannot, from this day forward, I'm going to ask you to not give them power any longer. So we think it, we write it, we hear it. Think right here. Make connections today. Then pave that way. You now have the awareness. So how do you pave that path?
Your message, like at the end, you can be anything, but before that, be kind.
Yep.
My husband's a pastor, and that every one of his sermons, that's always within it. That be kind.
Yep.
You have to be kind.
It is.
Oh, you're fine.
Look at this. So there's an employee out there who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader. By the way, I want to be remembered for this phrase when I'm no longer on this earth. The greatest rewards in life come from the most uncomfortable walk. God meant for me to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. You, honey, have a lot of value. And someone's told you that you don't. And I was meant to be in your life today. I've always said, I have chills. Do we all have chills? God, I say, if you can have me change one person's life, then I have done your job. I'm hoping it's all of you. But see, she's not okay for whatever reason. I don't know your story, but I'm going to tell you they're wrong. And all these women believe in you.
To hire Monica Adams for your next event, email info@therealmonicaadams.com.
And welcome back, and I'm excited. It is auctioneering MC speaking season, by the way. It's crazy. It's like every weekend coming up for the next 2 months. I'm super excited about it, raising some big money for nonprofits. Welcome back to the show. If you are just tuning in, you're a little late, and that's okay. I saw Jody say, oh no, I'm a little late. It's okay. She also just said spring. Okay, we went into the break saying, what's your favorite season? Dot just said spring. She loves daylight saving time, by the way. Linda says summer. Christy says spring. Spring and fall. I love fall. I really love fall. That's probably my all-time favorite. Rose told me to make you come get your book on the 25th and play the guilt game.
I'm going to look at my calendar. I'm going to try and be there.
Okay, good. You will love it, by the way. Have you ever been to Mary Tuttle's?
I have not, but I'm telling you, I want to be there after seeing all those pictures.
Trust me.
I love it.
It's going to become one of your favorite stores. Jim walked in and said, wow, this store is unbelievable. I'm like, I agree. Anne's on. She said, good morning, you two. The condo I bought, Dot was my amazing agent. I didn't want to see it, but she talked me into seeing it. It's a perfect match. I love my new home. See? Yes. Guidance from the wonderful Dot. All right. We want to find out why. Why is daylight saving time your favorite?
I mean, gosh, I have a list. You can take off those coats.
Yes.
You can wear lighter clothing. You can put your sunglasses on. It's beautiful sun. Everyone needs vitamin D.
Yes.
I mean, I'm happier. I feel like going out. I spend more money. I mean, everyone gets out. They've been cooped up in the snow and
Yes.
these heavy coats and scarves and boots. I like open toe sandals. I mean,
Look at, she's like, you can't stop me. I get it. Yes. And look, seasonal affective disorder, by the way, is a real thing. So people are waiting to get out of this. There's a reason why so many seniors get away and go to Florida because they're seeking out the vitamin D. Then they come back around late March or April for spring. So we're going to lose that hour of sleep. Are you upset about that?
No, I'm not, Monica. The biggest thing is if you go to bed 15 to 20 minutes early, like the next few days before daylight savings, and then after daylight savings, if you just wake up like 15 to 20 minutes early, it'll not really affect you like that. A lot of people think, that whole 1 hour. I'm like, come on, give me a break. You were out partying last week and lost an hour and went to work the next day like nothing.
People
So,
just like to complain.
but there is a psychological effect to it all. But no, I will not. I will do my go to bed early and wake up a little early just because it's I just we're gonna have sun. We have longer days.
Right.
You can barbecue and sit outside and go do things. Oh,
I'm ready for barbecue. And you know what? A lot of people, and I think we're finally going to do it. We've only been in this house, 9 years, and we're finally going to do it, going on our 10th year. We have been told by Madonna at Just Pools, shout out Madonna, we love you. She's like, you need to open the pool earlier, then it won't be green. You won't have to be dealing with that. So Jim claims we're going to open the pool this month. Now we're not going to get in it anytime soon.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful to look at, right? You get a chance to look at the water. Okay, Kathleen just said spring. Love being outside, working in the yard. That's the thing that I love, right? The thing is, Jim pulled up the other day and he goes, "Oh, look at the buds. They're starting to come out." I'm like, yeah, they're so confused. So they're starting because they're like 70-degree weather, 30-degree weather, 80-degree weather, 20-degree weather. Do we come out? They're like popping their heads out and then they go back out and hibernate. So yeah, keep letting us know. Spring, summer, fall, winter, what is your favorite season? So as we go into the weekend, a reminder, Saturday night into Sunday, you will take those clocks forward. You'll be losing that hour of sleep, but we're springing forward into a rebirth, an awakening, new season, okay? And some really exciting ideas for St. Patrick. So there's two big celebrations. I like going to the one in Dogtown, which we'll talk about in just a second. But the one before that, do you go to the one that's downtown, Dot?
When I was younger, in high school, college, I used to, but no, I haven't been to that one in a long time. However, this year, my granddaughter is going to be dancing with her little group.
What?
Yes.
Look
There
at
she is. Isn't she adorable?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So they have that little wig thing they put on her in her little outfit, but she's going to be dancing on the float in the one downtown as well as the one in Dogtown.
Oh, both. Okay. Yeah, I love to watch them and they're so talented. I'm like, how do their little feet move like that? And then they have all the spindles in the hair and the wigs. So how long has she been doing the Irish dancing?
I don't new. I mean, this is new to her.
Oh, this is new this year?
Yeah, like a year, I think.
Aw, she's so beautiful. And shout out to Athena. I know Athena was on before. I don't know if she's still on, but her wonderful children. So tell us this. Will you go downtown and Dogtown? Will you only go to one or the other? Will you not go?
So Saturdays are my day that I show homes. So Ronnie will be down there representing us, but I will be showing homes. I will not be down there.
No, that one's on March 14th.
That's on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday, March 14th.
The authentic, and we'll be talking, by the way, with one of the ancient order Hibernians, Mike Quinn, who was on with us last St. Patrick's Day in all the full dress, which I thought was just amazing. He's coming in studio again on the 17th, and then he'll go back, and because people go out there at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, starting to line up in the Dogtown neighborhoods to get ready for the Dogtown parade. Will you go to this one?
I will go to this one.
Yay!
Yes.
Okay, we got to meet up because I'm going to do the interview with him in the morning. I missed it last year. So that's the only thing, because a lot of people, you kind of need to get down there by, I'd almost say by 8 a.m., 9 a.m., they start to shut the streets down. You try to find parking. Expect to walk. I'd love to bring Mama Jackie. It's not happening. It's not happening.
No, there's definitely a lot of walking because you definitely have to park far and, just because of the floats and everything. But yeah.
Yeah, I love the authentic neighborhood. I love all the Irish families. Again, if you've never been, I'm going to tell you right now, you've missed out on a really incredible time. It's one of my favorite things to do. And it's 2 days before my birthday. So I love
I
St.
know,
Patrick's Day.
right?
It's just like, let's just party. Okay, Rose just said spring. I love the sun on my arthritic body. You see people walking, birds are happy. Yeah. Oh, Jody says open the pool. You've never been to one, you need to go. You need to get out there. Okay, spring, sitting outside at the wineries. Dot, you don't look like a grandma I ever had.
Thank you.
Carla, good morning. Love going to Dogtown's parade. Yep. Athena said, still here. So excited to see her. Do they throw lots of candy? Yes. I haven't been to the downtown one in a while, but I would imagine they still do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The one I know, the one in Dogtown, they do. Carla, we Uber. Good idea. And then just a short walk to the parade. That's very smart. Yeah. Designated driver or Uber or Lyft or any of them. It's just, it can be really, really crazy. So March 14th, again, is the one downtown. It's starting at 8th and Market at noon, one of the largest St. Patrick's Day parades in the country. So we're asking you who goes every year, or is this your first? Let us know that. What about Dogtown? That one kicks off at 11?
That one, yes.
11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
On St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
On St. Patrick's Day,
yes,
right.
The Dogtown one. Live music, some incredible Irish pubs that are down there that you can go into after the parades.
You know, I think what's missing, Monica, is they
What?
really need to get food trucks down there.
Oh.
There's just, even though all the restaurants,
And the church.
they're down there, but, people go into the restaurants to get food and stuff like that. It's just, there's just so many people. They just can't, keep up. I just think
That's a good idea.
they should do some food trucks. Really.
Or someone should be mobile and walking and handing us food.
I mean, honestly, like hand me €1. Just hand me something, something just
No,
it's
corned beef and cabbage.
like, ooh.
That's what they have. Green beer
I know.
and corned beef.
I know.
I agree. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not.
So
But
they have
even a corned beef sandwich. I mean, that makes sense. You walk around and do you have any people who are drinking beer and standing
Yep.
there drinking? And most of the time it's cold, so they got their gloves on
Yep.
and they're drinking. They need food. They need
agreed.
food.
Agreed. And so, and the other thing is very long lines. If you're trying to get into one of the restaurants or the pubs, they do have some of the tents set up where you can get some food. And then the church, I would recommend that you go to the church. They've got a lot of things planned, by the way. And I was talking, like I told you, I was talking with Mike Quinn the other day, who is with the Ancient Order of Hibernians, talking about all the exciting things that are coming up. They've got many things that are leading up to it. So we'll discuss some of those for you coming up next week. And then, of course, going into it. Where exactly is Dogtown? Okay. So Clayton and Tam area of Highway 40. Are you familiar with that, Jody? That's pretty much it. And
Think Hampton and 40.
Yep.
So Hampton and 40, and then you go inlet a little bit off of Clayton.
Yep. Or you can come up. We always park coming up Manchester. You can park around there and then just walk. Again, if the weather's nice, we'll have to find out from Beckett what we're expecting. If the weather's nice, just go for a nice long walk, and then you don't have to deal with all the crowds when you're coming out. So Dot gave us some information about this. We mentioned again the timing of it, but can you give us the purpose of the Dogtown Parade?
Okay, I wrote it down so I didn't forget it because I said it wrong last time.
Oh, okay.
So the purpose of the Dogtown Irish Festival is highlighted for the unique spirit and celebrated history of the neighborhood. First of all, itself, and then the festival brings in live music and local vendors to complement the Ancient Order of Hibernians, St. Patrick's Day, which has been held since 1984.
Which is just crazy. I was trying to think when was the very first one that I went to, and I don't know. I may have been about 23 or 25. Let me think. Yeah,
So
maybe.
the people who put this together, Monica, are the people from my high school.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So it started back in 1984 from people from Southwest High School. Back in the day, they all started saying, let's do this. It was the tiny little parade that started at the zoo with, people and like without. It's huge.
Yes. Oh,
it's huge. But back then they started it and here we are.
It's so fun. Here's the other thing. When I was in television, we would go out there and report at 5 a.m. People were out there at 3 o'clock. The other part of it is I love to see all of the neighborhood and all the homes all decorated. I think they do like Chuck Gillentine, who is our sponsor from Defiance Ridge with Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. He said that there's a friend of his and they always get the best decorated house. So there's this competition that goes on down there as well. Yes. And then I always loved not just the reporting that would take place on the street, but above when Sky Fox would hover over and you would just see the sea of green.
Right.
Right? It's crazy.
Right.
Dot, you went to Southwest High School?
I
That's what
did
Rose
go to
just said.
Southwest High School. I did.
Did you not? Let me try to figure out. No, my sister's older than you. My sister went to Southwest. Did
She
you all
did.
talk about that before?
We have. Yeah, we've spoken about that. She was probably in my cousin's age.
Yeah, because she's older
Yeah.
than you. Yep,
Yeah.
Southwest. Yep, she's a Southwest alum for sure. Okay, so that's our friendship talk. What do we have coming up for next month, so that we can all have you get excited about what's coming? It's on Friday, April 3rd, when Dot will be with us again.
We're going to talk a little bit about Easter.
Okay.
And of course, all the meaning about Easter, between hope, redemption, Jesus, all of that. It's not just about the Easter baskets and little bunny ears, but we'll talk about all of that next month.
Yeah, I
That's
love
on the 6th.
Yeah, I love to discuss the meaning behind these holidays, right? We talked about that around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, and now as we go into Easter. What does it truly represent? Think about that. My friend, it is so good to see you. Carla said it's insane. Wow, didn't know what year it started. Yeah, see, she's a wealth of knowledge. Well, thank you. I will not guilt you. I will give you your book next week. And
Right.
then I do hope to see you, though, at our Mobile Monica, which we'll discuss here coming up.
I hope so too.
Yes.
I hope I see Rose.
Yeah, you've got to. You two have got to meet. It's been way too long. All right, my friend, have a beautiful weekend. Tell
Thank
your
you.
mama hello. Athena, by the
I
way,
will.
thanks for being on.
I will.
Love her. I want to get our mothers together, so text me so that we can
Okay.
make that happen.
Okay, for sure.
Because the weather's nicer now.
Right.
So let's get them
Right.
together. All right, I love you.
Have a great
Everybody stay
weekend.
tuned. We've got our devotional and some exciting things that are coming up for you next week.
Thank you.
We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that.
Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey! You're close!
Monica! Whoa!
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind.
Yes, that's right. And we'll say it again here in just a couple of minutes. Be kind. It's the greatest thing you can be. You are all so welcome. I hope you have a great weekend. I found a new recipe to make. Did you make pasta bread? No, I've never made that before, Stephanie. You'll have to let us know about that. Hope you do another Foodie Friday. Carla, I will. So here's the thing. It's on hold for just a little bit. The kitchen where we do our Foodie Friday, they had to make some changes to it. So the appliances had to be moved out, and then they're adding some things to it. So I'm just waiting for the date of when that's back in place so that I can bring our Foodie Fridays back. If it's going to be a little bit longer than I want, I'll do our Foodie Fridays from our kitchen, or maybe we'll go to different restaurants and we'll cook in there. So Carla, you bet. I promise you, Foodie Friday is not going anywhere. We've been doing it for almost a year. We started in April, by the way. Crazy. Okay, so working on water. That is from our Bloom and Grow devotional, 365 devotions for gardeners at heart, because we're ready for spring. So come, he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" That's Matthew 14, verse 29 through through 31. I still ooh and ah at the sight of a dragonfly, the flash of wings, the sheen of it. They really do walk on water. A better spectacle, perhaps, than Simon Peter made. Poor guy. We're still 2,000 years later. We are talking about this, right? But it is for his sinking or for his thinking. he could walk out to Jesus. The Creator knows the work for which we're each made. God designed Simon Peter to be human, not a dragonfly. He knew Simon's limitations as he knows yours and mine. On that sea that night, God stood as close as a good father would, near enough for Simon to hear him, but not too close, cheering him on, kind of like from the sidelines. I think he hopes for us even when we just can't, though he well knows the outcome for the sake of faith's growth. Did our Lord need to find out whether Simon could levitate, hydroplane, or succumb? He who knows and created all things, he already knows. And it's interesting, we're talking about dragonflies. I did not know that was part of this. I put these earrings in on purpose this morning because of this coloring. And here we are talking about these beautiful things in nature. I was drawn to this, by the way. This is an actual butterfly. I got these when I was in Cabo. Isn't that eerie? It's kind of crazy. One to grow on. Who cares if you jump the gun? The Lord knows your heart and your mettle and is becoming Lord of your life over every inch as you allow it. Lord, I'm confused right now about what I'm going to do here. Am I pleasing you? That's what I want to do. Please help me understand. Amen to that. By the way, I'm going to let you know that I got a chance to see I Can Only Imagine 2 yesterday. Mom and I went to the theaters. I'm going to say from my review standpoint, I think I Can Only Imagine the original was a little better. I cried and had a deep cry in my heart. And maybe it was the messaging of it all. There's a wonderful message in this one, though, of also overcoming, of, realizing that so many people are going through heartache and humbling yourself. The music is great. In fact, I think John Michael Finley, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I love Mercy Me, but I don't know. John Michael Finley's voice might outdo it. When I hear him do I Can Only Imagine and then the song that's in this one, you got to go see it. I Can Only Imagine 2 in theaters right now. I will give it 4 out of 5 stars because I Can Only Imagine 5. Enjoy the beautiful day, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Christy, you as well. Okay, so we go into the weekend. Amen, Judy says. I needed to hear this today. You bet. We go into the weekend and then we come back on Monday. Dot is the one that actually introduced me to the woman who's coming on Monday, April, who owns Midwest Thermography. You may have seen the reel and the story I put out yesterday. I went in and had it done. Yeah. I wanted to know firsthand, what is thermography? Dot had it done. Bridget, who I told you is one of our newest sponsors, Bridget with a Childress legal nursing consultant. She's had it done. And I told her, you got to tune in on Monday. You are going to want to hear April and ask any questions or make comments, by the way. Bridget, welcome aboard. Everybody was welcoming you the other day. So Bridget and Dot, I asked them to be watching, and then everybody else. It will be very eye-opening. You have a choice when it comes to your health. You have to understand that you don't have to have mammograms. You can say, I want a mammogram, or I want ultrasound, or I want thermography. So Midwest Thermography Solutions, it's on our Medical Monday. So on Monday, April is our guest. On Tuesday, Angela Carter, who owns so it's 2 things. Mary Tuttle's and then Amelia's is right next door in the same business. We're going to talk with her about her beautiful place that I am hoping so many of you will walk in the doors and be able to experience just how beautiful Mary Tuttle's is. We're going to hear the backstory, though, on what the dream was for this gorgeous place before you ever step in the doors. And then that Mobile Monica, March 25th, 9 a.m. at Mary Tuttle's. Mobile Monica on the exact same day, March 25th at 4 p.m. at Exist Stretch. And we have a huge announcement to make in a few weeks about Exist Stretch and the Real Monica Adams team. And when I mean huge, I do mean huge. Okay. Other Mobile Monicas that are coming up will be in April. We will be going, by the way, to see April at Midwest Thermography, so I can show you the process of it all, what you go through, and why we are helping ourselves. A choice to not have radiation. That's coming up on April 2nd, and so many more. We're going to be at the Barrel House, which is for all those whiskey lovers out there. Great food, great music. Barrel House is coming up in May. Oaken Front in Washington, Missouri, also coming up in May, and so many more. I'm telling you right now, we will be sprinkling those all in the coming months. If you want a Mobile Monica from your location or your event, reach out to me, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Let's make it happen. We would love to add you to the ongoing list of our incredible sponsors, or where our Mobile Monicas are. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Get out, enjoy it. Don't forget about losing the hour of sleep. One more time, Saturday night into Sunday, set those clocks, spring them forward, and look for beautiful, wonderful days ahead. God bless you all. And as I said in that promo earlier, there is no greater thing that you can do than have self-love for yourself. Once you love yourself, you can spread that love to others around you. And that is the ultimate thing you can do, which is showing kindness. God bless and be kind.